Okay, this lesson is about interpreting company charts. You'll have to do it once in your test. You'll have to do this maybe a couple of times in the DI. You need to be able to describe the performance of a company over time as shown on a company chart, a little graph. What is a company chart? It's got an x-axis that represents the time. Y-axis usually represents the closing price. A line or multiple lines tracking the closing price of a company over time. And there's a little column graph at the bottom that represents the volume, which is the number of shares traded. So here, I've gotten, this is from Yahoo Finance. That's the website that you will be using for your DI. This is Apple over the last year. When do you reckon the iPhone 15 came out? This is the last year. In the middle somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably where the price was high. So Apple, this is a couple of days ago. They were worth $192.42 per share. So can you see that the blue line is tracking Apple's daily share price? Can you see that X represents time because you've got July, August, so it goes across there. Y-axis is the share price, obviously. And you can see a little bar chart at the bottom, which is the volume. Volume represents how many shares were traded. Do you notice how there tends to be a high volume of stuff happening when there's stuff happening with the share price? The share price is going down. That probably means heaps of people are selling. That probably happened because when they released the iPhone, people were like raving about it, and then they realized, bro, it's the same as last year's, but it's got a USB-C. So then people were like, oh. They're like, oh, all right. And that's why people were selling. So would that indicate there was more interest? People were doing stuff with it. The price probably gone up here because they announced they were releasing that VR headset. What was it called? The Vision Pro and all that sort of stuff. So the way Apple does it is their share price goes up when they release a product, but then it's a year between, so their share price goes down when they're bored of it. Do you know how Google earns their money? Any idea?
Ads.
It's through ads and through selling your information, so their share price doesn't go up and down, it just goes up. Okay? Until like everyone's saturated, until they can't earn any more money. So that's Apple. So please notice the closing price line goes up and down over time. There's usually a spike in the volume chart at the bottom when the prices change a lot, which we just talked about. To succeed in this subject, you need to describe price trends with appropriate language below. So if in your DI you were to say, the line went up, that wouldn't be real appropriate language. We're year 12s now. You've done English for a while. Can you suggest to me a more professional or a higher level way of saying that something went up?
Increase.
Yep, that's the most basic. So you could say increase.
Climbed.
Anything else? Sorry?
Climbed.
Climbed, yes.
Spiked.
Yep. You'd probably use spiked when it's like real fast. Like I wouldn't say spiked here. Nope. I wouldn't say spiked there, but you could say rise for that one. Anything else? We're literally just looking for words that are better than bro went up. Anything else? Like if you were being asked to, let's say I'm not your teacher, dressed like this. Let's say I was in a suit. What words would you use to describe going up?
Rising.
Rise, yeah. Anything else? You might need some time. Yeah, you could use that. Inflate. That's enough. What about price going down? Let's just say the opposites of these. What's the opposite of increase? Declined is not a word. Declined, yeah. Yeah? Fell, fall. Spiked, unspiked. That's not a word. Huh? Dipped, yes. What's the opposite of inflate? Do we have some vocabulary that we can use other than saying up or down? Keep that in mind for your DI. This will be on video. You're noting it down right now. What could I say for the price staying flat? What would be a nice formal word to say the price was?
Stable.
Yes, that's the first one I was looking for. Level, yes.
Plateau.
Yes, but we need to make sure we spell that correctly. P-L-A-T. Is that correct? Can someone check it? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I trust your judgment. Anything else? Anything for flat? Yes! If you don't use that in your DI, I'll be very disappointed.
I am disappointed.
No. Hey. Anything else? That's pretty good.
Inactive, maybe.
Huh?
Inactive because it says.
Not in this context, I want to say. That's enough for our DI. What about zigzagging? So what I mean is just going like here. And people were trying to work out whether they cared about the iPhone or not. Unstable.
Deviating.
Yes, deviating.
Indecisive.
Not in this context. Shares don't decide anything. Okay, so just leave that for now. Could you say variable?
Erratic.
Yes.
Spiking.
We've already used spiking for going up. That's enough.
Irregular.
Yeah.
Inconsistent.
That's what we care. That's how much we care about house point system. Jesus. Irregular. What was it? I lost it. What was it?
No, it was irregular.
Irregular. Oh, and what was the other one? Someone inconsistent.
Yeah.
So when you describe the performance of a company on a chart, you must be specific about the time periods you're detailing. So make sure to look at the scale and the x-axis to help with this. So what I mean by that, I'll give you writing time for that. You are not allowed to just say Apple rose and then was erratic and then went up again. Can you be more specific about that? Can you say that between February and August, was there a gradual increase in the share price? Could you say that in the first half of August, there was a rapid decrease in the share price? Can you say that it was quite variable between August and November?
Yeah.
That's where you're going to get your marks from, right? If you just spouted out all of those words, I might give you 1 out of 5. If you're being specific about it, that's where you'll get your marks from. Okay? Don't lose marks from a big chunky set of marks because you were overly general. Be specific about it. You want the marks. Okay? I'll give you some writing time for this and then we'll practice that process. If you can think of any other good words, but that's plenty. That's enough for us. What I'll do is after this example, I'll give you some time to do exercises on PU ratio. Then I'll need your attention again just before recess. There's no exercises associated with the last thing I'm doing with you. Is anyone going to have like a hissy fit if I do the example now? Who's that? You. You fronting up, are you? You're bigger than me. Let's do an example. Let's do Apple. I just said what we're going to do now, but we might as well write it down. Describe the performance of Apple shares seen in the company chart below in detail over the past year. So my thinking, the way that you should think about this is begin by looking at the graph as a whole, dividing into sections where there are significant trends over a period of time. Do you agree that there's a pretty gradual rise up to here?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm not going to mark you down if you draw a line down. Is it sort of up and down between August and November? Is that another section? So you could say it's like this. From November to early. There was a rise probably here. You could talk about the rise there. Does this look pretty variable here? Yeah. So this would probably be worth 4 marks if it was in your test. Okay. So let's just do it from the time. Time goes from left to right. So What could I say? What could I say?
From February to August,
Yep.
the price of the Apple shares rose consistently.
Org, the price rose consistently. I have no issue with that. That's a tick. Someone else, however? Yes?
I've just got a question. From
Yep.
February to March, do you count that as like unstable as well? Because it's basically the exact same as the...
You could, but I would suggest look at the marking scheme. If it's only 4, have we already got 4 sections?
Oh, so
If you were to do that, you're just doing it. You're just trying too hard. All right. Just get points for each mark that's there. Okay. However, what could we say about August to November? Yes.
That although there was an initial decrease in over 3 spikes.
That's trying too hard. Just tell me
it
what was going on.
on the weekly.
no, the right words. What do we say up there? Any of
It
those?
was erratic behaviour.
Yes. Good.
Multiple spikes.
Yes. The price was erratic from August to November. I'm not trying to say that you don't have to over try, but isn't that using time that you could have saved elsewhere? I'm being highly specific about what I want to see, okay? So that you don't waste, you can use the time on actual maths. Anything else? What? Someone else from November to mid-December. What's happening there?
It climbed.
Climbed? Yep. Use a different word. It's not like you guys essays that say therefore every paragraph. Between November and mid-December, it climbed. I would say this is where I'm going to try hard. I'm going to make a note of how that's a bit steeper, so it was a bit more rapid than last time. See, this is a more shallower slope. It climbed more rapidly. And one last person for what happens from mid-December till now. Is that rule consistent? Is it stable, or is it sort of
Unstable.
unstable? Yeah, use a different word. We already used erratic. Then was unstable from mid-December to present. Okay, writing time. I'll stop the recording.